I want to tell you about something my coach taught me. Not a technique, not a drill, a concept. He describes the conscious mind as synchronous, deliberate, sequential, one thought at a time. And the unconscious mind, what he calls the inner zombie, as asynchronous, running in the background, processing things the conscious mind never sees, and occasionally acting on them before you've had a chance to decide. I spent a long time trying to think my way through competition. This episode is about what happens when you learn to stop. My coach's framework is precise. The conscious mind is synchronous. It works in sequence. It takes in information, processes it, forms a response, and sends the response to the body, one step at a time. The problem in competition is that process takes too long. By the time the conscious mind has processed what your opponent just did, formed the correct response, and sent the signal, the moment is already over. The unconscious mind works differently. Asynchronous, parallel, processing multiple things at once, below the level of awareness, and capable of responding to information before the conscious mind even knows it received it. My coach calls this the inner zombie. I love that name. Not flow state, not muscle memory. The inner zombie, because it captures something the other words miss. Flow state sounds serene. Inner zombie is not serene. It's something older than serene. Something that operates independently of you, through you, not with you. Here's what it actually looks like after all my years of training. My parry riposte. The defensive action followed immediately by the attack is probably about 99% reflex now. I don't think about it. I don't decide to do it. I maintain the right distance, I read the situation, and it just happens. The inner zombie handles my defense in the way my conscious mind never could, because my conscious mind isn't fast enough. But here's the part that still catches me off guard even now. Sometimes I move, sometimes I get touches that I don't realize what I did to get it. I'm not talking about losing focus. I'm talking about executing something, landing a point, getting the right of way, and having no conscious memory of the decision. I'll look at my opponent, I'll see the score change, and I genuinely don't know what happened, how we got there. Only a mental replay tells me what I did, but I have no recollection of the sequence of events at the time. The inner zombie did it, and it didn't consult me first. The first few times that happened, it was disorienting, almost unsettling, because we're taught that control is the goal, that mastery means knowing exactly what you did and why. And while that plays into the overall framework, the inner zombie isn't about control. It's the highest expression of what all that training was building towards. Your body has been learning, accumulating patterns, encoding responses, building knowledge in a language the conscious mind just doesn't speak. And when the conditions are right, when you maintain the proper distance, when you're present without overthinking, it acts, without asking permission. But here's what I've learned about the inner zombie. It can do anything you've practiced. Anything you've drilled into deeply enough becomes available in that unconscious moment. The problem is, it doesn't discriminate. I also do lightsaber fencing. Different discipline, different rules, different demands, especially around power and control. And sometimes, mid-bout, the inner zombie recognizes a pattern, a distance, an angle, an opening, and it fires the first response it knows. Maybe not the lightsaber response, maybe not the fencing response, just the response that fits the shape of the moment. And I'll land a riposte that's way too hard because that came out of what was built for a different context entirely. The inner zombie isn't wise. It isn't strategic. It's fast and it's deep, and it works from pattern recognition alone, which means everything you've practiced, everything is in there somewhere, and it decides what fits, not you. I wrote Edge of Instinct for my coach because he named something I already had experienced but didn't have the language for. And once I had the language, once I understood what the inner zombie was, I could start learning to trust it, and that's what this song is about. The song opens before the action starts. Silence before the storm, two souls on the line, no time to think, no time to breathe, just read the signs. Two souls on the line. That's competition at its most essential. Two people, the moment between them, no time left for the conscious mind to run the sequence. The pre-chorus is where the concept lands. No thought, no fear, no hesitation, pure reflex, pure sensation. The blade moves like a shadow, I don't lead, I follow. I don't lead, I follow. That's the inner zombie in 5 words. Most people think mastery means control. The more you train, the more in command you become. But there's a level of control where you let go of it entirely, where you follow the body instead of directing it. I don't lead, I follow. That's not surrender. That's the whole point of the training. The chorus, I feel it before I see it. I move before I know. The point finds its way through darkness on instinct alone. I move before I know. That's the touches I don't remember making. The inner zombie moved. The point landed. And my conscious mind had to play catch up and found out at the same time the scoreboard did. The bridge is where the song goes deepest. They say the mind's the weapon, but these hands already know truths the mind hasn't learned yet, seeds the body chose to sow. Truths the mind hasn't learned yet. That's my coach's framework made into a lyric. The body has gathered information, building patterns, encoding responses in a language the conscious mind hasn't caught up with yet. And then, this is older than my thinking, this is older than my fear, something deeper pulls the wire and the blade just disappears. And the blade just disappears. That's the touch I don't remember. The move I don't remember. When the inner zombie takes over completely, you don't feel the execution. You don't feel anything, really. You just have the result. And maybe, if you're lucky, a mental replay of what just happened. About the musical choices. Edge of Instinct is a duet, and that wasn't originally planned. When I was writing the lyrics, certain lines just landed differently depending on who I heard singing them. Something about the way a line fell, the weight of it, the angle of it, would feel wrong in one voice and completely right in another. So I let the song be what it wanted to be. And when I heard it back, 2 voices trading, responding, overlapping, something clicked. It felt like the conscious and subconscious finally in the same room, having the same conversation. Not fighting for control, just both present, both moving through the same experience through their own side of it. The whole song builds towards the final chorus. And there I lift the key, not to add drama for its own sake, but because that's what resolution sounds like. Everything that was intention, everything that was building and searching and driving, the key lift is the moment it lands. The inner zombie and the conscious mind arriving at the same place at the same time. That's the only time the whole song feels completely at rest. Edge of Instinct is the 3rd episode in this series, and it's the one I'm most personally invested in. Not because of the music, because who it's for. Good coaches do something rare. They don't just teach a skill. They name something you already felt but couldn't articulate. The inner zombie was always there, running in the background, acting without permission, getting touches I couldn't explain. I just needed somebody to tell me what it was. And that learning to trust it was the whole point of everything I'd been doing. If you have someone in your life who names something true for you, this episode is for both of you. The full song is linked below. Next episode, we go from trusting instinct to applying it. One moment at a time, under pressure. That's touch by touch. I'll see you then.